Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Well, the drivers of the GT4 series here on the special stage, they had a very good time taking a week off after our visit to the Emilia-Romagna region of Italy. We were at Imola. Now bringing things back home and putting an American spin on things. We're at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, we will be racing an oval here tonight. My name is Mac Nelson. Joining me is going to be no one. I'm the lone voice in the booth, as is the case for most of the special stage broadcasts. But I am here on behalf of Racer Nexus Broadcasting Network. I appreciate you guys taking the time, inviting me into your homes on a Sunday night. We're going to race some GT4s. It is week number 4 of our 8-week season here in the special stage GT4 series. We're here at New Hampshire today. Donington Park is going to be our destination next week as we go racing over in Europe again. We're going to be doing a road course. As it should be, man. We're in GT4 cars here. But we are throwing it for a big, big loop. As I get things set here, I apologize for the slow stuff here, gentlemen. I do apologize. It is going to be 64 degrees out here, 18 degrees Celsius, 70-degree track temperature, so these drivers are not going to have any sort of problem with grip here on this track. It is very humid as well. So something to note as we get deep into the night here and racing at New Hampshire. It's going to be 2 20-minute heats. If you're familiar with the special stage, you are aware of that. All their series run the same format. We will be doing 2 20-minute heats, inverted field on the second. 100% championship point payout here, so both races just as important, ladies and gentlemen. So do not step away during heat race number 2. It's going to be one heck of a time. And while these cars are getting ready to grid and we get ready to start our opening race here tonight, we'll walk through your starting grid. In P1 is going to be the number 7 of Josh Heege, with P2 being the boss man, Matt Schlosser. Row number 2 is going to be Keen Maduro and Alex Good. Row number 3 is going to be Brody Gunter and Joe Schicchetti. Row number 4 is going to be Zach Miller in the AMG and Chris Lunan in P8. P9 is going to be Adam Boyslard with Tom Wient in P10. P11 is going to be Travis Fleming, with P12 being Joseph Pascucci. So I'm very, very interested to see how these drivers handle the oval here tonight. They are on a 1-week off week. They were just at Imola 2 weeks ago racing these GT4 cars. So it's going to be interesting to see how they tackle the ovals here tonight. And before we get going here in heat race number 1, I just want to say a big shout out to Apex Sim Racing. Use code RacerNexus for 5% off on any of the sim racing accessories that you buy from their storefront, whether that be wheel rims, wheel bases, pedals, monitors, any of it, chassis, sound, it doesn't matter. Whatever you buy, use code RacerNexus, you'll get 5% off. It'll support us here at Racer Nexus immensely. We appreciate it every time you guys do choose to use it. Also, big shout out to Track Cams for Gourmets. That's trackcams22.com, providing you with all the car and track cameras that you see here on this broadcast tonight and across the entirety of the Racer and Nexus broadcast network. So big shout out to those two companies, those two partners, I should say, for helping us out a ton. I've been a little under the weather lately, so I do apologize if I do have to step away for a few seconds, whether that be a cough or a sneeze or whatever it may be. Lights are out on the pace car, and our leader, Josh Heege, has the button. We are green here at New Hampshire. Going to be 20 minutes worth of race here, so it's going to be very, very important that these guys get set up and get into a rhythm fast. The one thing you do not want to be on an oval is out of sync when it comes to tire wear, and that's going to be big contact. As I'm not entirely sure who all it was. I think that might be Joseph Pest. No, it's Keen Maduro back there in the number 88. That's going to not be good, and we've got crashes going down the front straight as well. I believe that's Brody Gunter. Or no, maybe it was Alex Good. I apologize. Alex Good in the number 97. As Zach Miller's had a moment as well. We'll go back and take a look at it. See him, he does not look too happy. Our only cammed up driver of the night, and he's just gonna have a spin. Oh no, just in the corner, maybe a rogue downshift. So unfortunate for those guys there. We also... we had a little bit of a moment there with Josh Heege, your leader, or was leader. Now Adam Boyce-Lard and Matt Schlosser are ahead of him. Zach Miller no longer going to be the lone AMG on the grid. The 06 of Adam Boyce-Lard is choosing now to go with an AMG. I believe he was in a Mustang, as everyone else here is in a Mustang. Adam Boyce-Lard and Zach Miller are in AMGs. Every other car on the grid is going to be a Mustang. The boss man, Matt Schlosser, running 0.3 of a second faster than everybody else on that last lap. He's going to have purple lap with a 31.71. Very, very interested to see what Matt Schlosser can do here in this situation. He's been here before. He leads these races a ton. The boss man, he's always in every single series that Special Stage has to offer. What can he do here in race number 4? We're coming up on the halfway point of the season. Now would be a great time for the likes of Josh Heege to get a good result, as he is going to tuck it down on the inside of the 06 of Adam Boyce-Lard. He's going for the overtake here. Coming out of turn number 4. Across the start-finish line, he is going to get that move done. P2 secured for the number 7 of Josh Heege. Joe Schicchetti sitting in P4 with Travis Fleming in close pursuit in P5. Travis Fleming, part of that ESGI Motorsports race team here on the iRacing official service. He comes out, he shows up, and he puts in one heck of a performance no matter what car he's racing, no matter what series he's racing in. He's always going to be quick. He's always going to be competitive. And Joe Schicchetti, the Chicago driver, I believe. That could be wrong, but I thought he might have been from Chicago or maybe New York. But that Frito Sport driver teaming up with Zach Miller. Zach Miller, unfortunately, is going to have his AMG sitting in the pit lane for now. Dean Maduro, you see the front bumper on that Mustang severely damaged. It's going to be a world of wonder that he gets that car back onto the racetrack in a successful fashion. Matt Schlosser still holding on to the lead. He's got a 1 second lead. Closest battle on track is going to be between Joe Schicchetti and Travis Fleming. Travis Fleming in close pursuit. We're going to go on board with Travis Fleming as he tries to run down the 11 Mustang of Joe Schicchetti. As it looks like during our onboard, Travis Fleming is going to have a little bit of a moment. We'll go back and take a look at it from an external view. You can see him coming around the corner here, prepping the move, and he just, unfortunately, is going to have a little too much wheel rotation inputted into his steering wheel. That's going to cause his rear end to step out, and that's going to spell disaster for him. So Travis Fleming, who was running down the 11 of Joe Schicchetti, now has to worry about getting past Keen Maduro. Matt Schlosser in the number 400. Working his way down, starting lap number 12. He's going to need one heck of a run to keep Josh Higgy at bay. Josh Higgy does have a better fastest lap. Matt Schlosser trying to work his way down in that Interstellar SRV number 400. Adam Boyce-Lard, the only other car that's not a Mustang in this grid. He runs P3. He's doing it for all the AMG lovers across the world. It's an AMG in a Mustang's world. As the 06 of Adam Boyce-Lard trying to defend against that gold Monster 11. Oh, wait, I take that back. I apologize. That is not going to be Adam Boyce-Lard. I believe that might actually be Brody Gunter. Yes, that's Brody Gunter in the 01. So that is not going to be for position. There's a slow Mustang around the top. I'm not entirely sure who that was. I believe it might have been Chris Lunan. He is going to turn it into the pit lane. I'm not entirely sure if he had a bunch of damage or something of the sort. Unfortunately, not too many battles going on track right now. Josh Higgy is trying to get to your current leader, Matt Schlosser, in that number 400. It's not going very well. He is going about 2/10 slower than Matt Schlosser. That is Josh Higgy, I mean. So hopefully the draft on these straights can kind of bring him in. We're only on about a 1 mile long circuit here, so these straights are not going to be too long. But they should provide for a little bit of draft heading into those corners. We'll have to see. Josh Higgy attempting. He's looking. He's just not making up any ground. It's like the the draft isn't strong enough. His car just cannot get it done down the straight, even though he is in the slipstream, but just not getting a good enough exit out of the corner to be able to actually take advantage of something like that. So for Josh Higgy, he might just be in a position of stalemate for the next 11 minutes here. Because there is a world where Josh Higgy just cannot catch up to Matt Schlosser. And in that event, Matt Schlosser will have the heat race #1 victory done and locked up. As we get a closer look inside the car of Matt Schlosser there for a second, that Interstellar SRV 400. He's fast no matter what the series is, man. He is a very, very quick driver. There is no doubt about that. He runs a very good league here. Matt Schlosser looking to get, you know, win number. I'm not even sure here in the special stage. I'm sure he's, you know, I've only been here for, you know, the last few months or so, so I don't know what was happening beforehand, but I've seen Matt Schlosser win a good number of times here since I've been here, so I know there's probably about double that, maybe even triple. Matt Schlosser, no stranger to victory lane. Josh Higgy has seen victory lane this season. I believe it was in the GT4 series as well. Could be wrong on that. However, he has gone to victory lane here in the special stage, so he knows how to get it done. And he is still trying to work his way on Matt Schlosser here. The lead was about 1.1 tenths a few laps ago. It now sits at 9 tenths of a second. So he's going to be bringing it home ever so slowly. And as we look upon the end of stage 1 here, or I guess heat race #1, I should say, there is some smoke in the air. I'm not entirely sure what has happened, as I don't see anybody really in the pit. But moving on, we do go to Donington Park next week, which is, in my opinion, one of the best circuits on the iRacing official service for GT4 car racing. I mean, when I was a D-Class coming up a few years ago, trying to get, you know, my I rating up, trying to get my license up for the, you know, big boy, you know, CBA series road course official races. Donington was one of the circuits that I loved playing the most. I loved racing. And I think it just brings a whole new style of, you know, elevation changes. And it really teaches the driver how to go about elevation changes, how to work with them, how to manage them. And I'm very, very excited to see exactly what these drivers can do there next week. So that's on the plate for next week here at the Special Stage GT4 Series. If you're a fan of the Special Stage, or I guess if you're not a fan of the Special Stage and you want to watch more, they have 4 series a week here, all broadcasted by us at Racer Nexus, I should say. Rob Campbell does the Thursday FIA Cross Car series, and then I am on all the other series. That's Friday IndyCar, Sunday GT4, and Monday Street Stock. So if you're a fan of what you're seeing here, come back tomorrow, same time. I'll be your lone voice in the booth again, doing the Special Stage Street Stock series. I'm not entirely too sure where they go tomorrow. That's a bit of an L on my part. I do apologize about that. But Josh Higgy has managed to lose a little bit of that gap that he was closing. It now sits at 1.1 seconds again. And unfortunately, guys, that is going to be your fastest or your closest battle on track. Is the battle between Matt Schlosser and Josh Higgy here. A second makes up the two of them. as that is going to be... I'm not entirely sure who that was. Maybe Keen Maduro. No, I apologize. I think it was Alex Good. No, Alex Good is in the purple. Well, blue Mustang right there in the back of your screen there got into the wall a good bit. Coming out of turn number 4 on that previous lap. Matt Schlosser just getting things done here. He's being very methodical. Starting lap number 28 here. And if you're a fan of any other esport around, if you're a fan of Call of Duty as well, you might know Major 1 happening right now. It unfortunately just actually ended. Game number 7, Search and Destroy. Round number 10 is where it ended. For the Paris Gentlemates, they take a 4-3 series win and a tournament win over Optic Texas. Neptune, the SMG player, more than likely winning MVP there. So if you are a fan of Call of Duty Esports and you decided to tune into the special stage GT4 series, just wanted to let you know that is indeed what happened. Not entirely sure what happened in the CS major tournament today. I think Furia, led by the old veteran Guardian, was sure to play in the semifinals. I'm not entirely sure if they got to grand finals. Matt Schlosser now working on the number 28. That's Tom Wheat. He's going to lap him, and that's going to be another victim added to the board of Matt Schlosser. Matt Schlosser obviously doing everything he can to keep this lead up on Josh Higgy. The problem is now Josh Higgy's going to have to find a way to get past Tom Wheat without losing too much time to Matt Schlosser. There is only about 4 minutes left in heat race number 1. So it's going to be very interesting to see if Josh Higgy can chase this guy down. Josh Higgy going to have to put the plays in the playbook and put it all together pretty quickly if he's going to want to challenge for this win here. And a win here for him would mean a lot here in the championship standings. We'll take a look at them as we have Brody Gunter, who sits in P1 of the championship with 974 points. Adam Boyce-Lard is going to be in P2 with 730 points, so he is in a very good chance to maybe jump Brody Gunter in the standings here tonight, depending on how heat race number 2 goes. Your boss man, current leader Matt Schlosser, who you're hopping on board with right now, is going to be sitting P3 in the championship points. And right there you see Josh Higgy is actually P4 in the championship. So he also has a very good chance of doing some good here for his championship hopes here tonight. So basically all these top 4 guys, and also Brody Gunter, with a whole lot to fight for here tonight. Those are going to be the guys you want to look for when you're scanning on track. Matt Schlosser still with a 1-second lead over Josh Higgy. Higgy able to get past Wayne. I'm not entirely too sure when that happened, but it didn't seem to hurt very much at all because he still boasts a very impressive 1.1 second deficit to Matt Schlosser. So even with all of that back marker maneuvering, Josh Higgy manages to keep the gap exactly where it was. I apologize about that, guys. A little bit of a sneeze that I had to attend to. 90 seconds left in heat race number 1. Josh Higgy here in the number 7, trying to make it as close as possible. Coming down on the final bit of laps here. We'll probably got 3 laps to go if I had to guess. Josh Higgy now only has it at 9/10 of a second. That is the gap between him and Matt Schlosser. If there's a time to do it, it is now. He's got to get something started here on this lap. If he can't do it on this lap, then it is probably done for good. Back on the throttle early. Shifting up into 5th. He's going to carry a whole lot of speed down into turn number 1. We'll be able to get a fantastic look at Barney the Flagman here as Matt Schlosser comes around turn number 4. Will Barney be holding it? Yes, he will. White flag in the air for your leader there, Matt Schlosser. Down into turns number 1 and 2. He's going to keep it squeaky clean down the back straight for the final time here in heat race number 1. Josh Higgy trails behind. Adam Boyce-Lard is 13 seconds down the road, so he unfortunately will not get a say in the matter. And at the end of it all, heat race number 1, Matt Schlosser wins it in the number 400. Josh Higgy gonna bring it home P2 with your final step on the podium. Going to Adam Boyce-Lard. P4, who is 14 seconds down the road, is going to be Joe Schicchetti coming out of turn number 4 now. He is going to finish P4, and only 2 seconds behind is going to be Travis Fleming in the 26th. That's going to round out your top 5 here tonight. And with that, we're going to go to a 3-minute warm-up, so we're going to take a break. If you have a snack or want to use the bathroom or want to grab a drink, do that now. We're going to roll a quick ad. When we come back, we've got heat race number 2 here in the special stage GT4 series.
Can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on. Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force it off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom.
Bouchard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh,
and
my
to the
goodness.
line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Well, race number 1 has wrapped up, and that means we're halfway through the action here tonight at New Hampshire for the special stage GT4 series. We're here at the Magic Mile. When it comes to heat race number 1, here are your results. Matt Schlosser brought it home with Josh Heege, Boyce Lard, Schickety, Travis Fleming, Tom Wheat, Joe Pascucci, Keen Maduro, Brody Gunter, Chris Lunan, Zach Miller, and Alex Good was your grid for that race there. But it's time to do it all again as we get ready to grid up for heat race number 2. Once again, we'll go over the starting grid. Alex Good and Zach Miller are going to be row number 1. Row number 2 will be Chris Lunan and Brody Gunter. He needs a good result here. Row number 3 is going to be Keen Maduro with Joseph Pascucci in P6. Dom Ween in P7 with Travis Fleming in P8. Joe Schickety P9 with Adam Boyce Lard on his outside. Row number 6 will be Josh Heege and the boss man, Matt Schlosser. So that is your grid for heat race number 2. As we get a look from our Racer Nexus drone cameras, we got Alex Good rocking a very, very nice purple scheme there. The guy I wanted to look at, Joe Pascucci with the Cookie Monster, Chips Ahoy. That's class. That is really cool. I like seeing that. Very, very cool stuff here as the pace car takes off. We are green once again. Alex Good for purple. Sector Motorsport going to lead us down into turn number 1. He's going to get a little bit wobbly trying to take that corner. Brody Gunter is around the outside with a whole lot of momentum firing across that 0-1. Matt Schlosser, the boss man. You see him in the back of the screen. He is going to go spinning around into the wall. That's going to be Matt Schlosser's race done. Joseph Pascucci is spinning out and around. Keen Maduro as well. So carnage again here in New Hampshire. Matt Schlosser is going to be done for the night, as that is not a way to go out. Alex Good has done the same thing. We'll go back and take a look at Alex Good here coming through turns 1 and 2, I believe. Onto the back straight, and he's just going to get on the throttle a little too early. Those tires are nuked. Brody Gunter's going to take the lead off that, and he's also going to post the fastest lap of the race. Joe Schickety and Adam Boyce Lard, both with meatball flags. So those guys are going to have to go in. Keen Maduro has a black flag. He's going to have to go in. It is pandemonium here at New Hampshire. What all is going to happen as Adam Boyce Lard and Joe Schickety are both coming in to fix that damage. Travis Fleming is now going to move into P5, the Fredo Sport driver of the number 26. As I apologize, the grid was not supposed to show again. I do deeply apologize there. Now, Brody Gunter, your leader here. He boasts a very impressive 3.4 second lead. We'll take a look up at the Racer Nexus blimp And we'll scan through the grid, and it looks like right now we have got 6 cars. No, I take that back. Make it 5 cars on the circuit. A lot of carnage in pit lane. There's Joe Schicchetti. You can see Matt Schlosser behind him. There's Keen Maduro, Zach Miller, Pascucci. Oh, man. How sad for those guys there. Currently 5 cars out on track. I'm not sure how long that is going to end up that way, but we do have a battle going on for P2 right now. It's going to be just about the only action out here on track. Josh Higgie's going to pass Tom Wint. And unfortunately for Tom Wint in that number 28, he is running 2/10 slower than Josh Higgie. We'll see what it is now, but unfortunately for Tom Wint, he might just get checked out by Josh Higgie. Yeah, it's going to be a 31.73 for Higgie and a 32.39 for Wint, so it's going to be very hard to catch back up to him. Alex Good running a 32.06 that last time around. As now Brody Gunter, who currently sits in the lead, has a 4.5 second lead over Josh Higgie, who unfortunately is not going to be able to run at the same pace as Brody Gunter. Going to be about a 2/10 of a second disparity between those two's lap times. And I apologize for this, guys, but I really need to blow my nose, so I will be back in about 30 seconds. We'll hop on board with Brody Gunter, your fastest car on track. Thank you guys for sticking with me. I apologize. The very cold weather here has got me feeling pretty bad with the nose stuffiness. I'm sure all of you in the Midwest or Mid-South or Northeast can relate to that. As Brody Gunter, part of Gold Mine Racing, the 01 Mustang, starting lap number 13. We've got about 13.5 minutes left in this heat race, and then we will be lights out and away to next week at Donington. Gonna have to take a nice little plane from New Hampshire to England, as I'm pretty sure Donington Park's in England. Pretty sure. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure. It might be Wales. I don't know. But Brody Gunter in the 01. Looking to stay away from Josh Higgie. He boasts a 4.5 second lead over Higgie. Now Higgie with also a 4.5 second lead on Tom Wint. And then it goes to a 7.84 second lead back to Alex Good. So, unfortunately, well, very fortunately for this guy, Brody Gunter and pretty much every other racer inside of the top 5, they're pretty set. They are kind of just hot lapping and cruising at this point. Lap times on average for everyone starting to go up. So I think everybody's kind of just getting complacent, realizing there was a very big crash, and they are going to, you know, kind of just cruise it around, which is a very smart move when you talk about championship. Brody Gunter, this is probably best case scenario for him. All of those 6 guys, Schlosser, Pascucci, Miller, Boislard, Cicchetti, and Maduro, all with very, very good pace and could indeed challenge Brody Gunter. And as we get halfway through the season here, this win going to be very, very big for Brody Gunter. As you can see there, Josh Higgy unable to get any sort of momentum going towards our leader, Gunter. He is staying at that 4.5 to 4.6 pretty much every single lap. Dropping a little bit now, but making a little bit of it back up. And, you know, unfortunately for us here watching, there's not really exactly a way to make this entertaining. I know that's very, very bad thing to say. Very, very, you know, anti-immersive thing to say. But here we are. It has happened. And the reality of the situation is that Brody Gunter is going to get to cash in this sort of, you know, chaotic start to heat race number 2. He's going to kind of walk away with an easy win here in race number 2, and it's just going to stretch that championship lead out a little bit more. So for the likes of Higgy, for the likes of Alex Good, who are technically inside of this championship hunt, this is going to earn them the right to get a little bit closer to that top spot. When you have the likes of Schlosser, you have the likes of Boislard, Joe Cicchetti as well. All guys trying to fight for that shot at the title. It's going to help the stock of these 5 drivers big time. Keen, Maduro, Adam Boislard, Joe Cicchetti, and Joseph Pascucci all back out on the track. They are, I mean, just a very significant amount of points down, or of laps down, I should say. I apologize. So really, they're just fighting for these spots, you know, towards the back of the grid. You know, for the likes of Joe Cicchetti, a P8 is pretty bad. If he could get up to P6, that would be very, very good for him, but that's going to ask for a lot. So is it just rubbing salt on the wound? Maybe, but for these drivers, every little bit matters. So they're going to get back out on track and do their best to compete. Brody Gunter here in the 0-1. I believe that's my main man, Adam Glatfelter, who hit me in chat. Adam, nice to see you, man. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Appreciate you guys viewing the stream. Once again, big shout out to Apex Sim Racing. If you are in need of sim racing accessories, it doesn't matter what it is. I'm talking wheelbases, I'm talking rims, I'm talking pedals, I'm talking chassis, monitors, monitor mounts. You need sound equipment, you need motion equipment. Apex Sim Racing has got you covered on all of those bases. Use code RacerNexus for 5% off your order. Helps us out here a ton, and it means a lot, and we'd be nothing without you guys, so we appreciate you guys on that front heavily. Also, big shout out to Track Cams for Gourmets. That's trackcams22.com. They provide all the car and track cameras you see here on the broadcast tonight and across all of our Racer Nexus broadcasts. So big shout out to those guys over at Track Cams 22. And I mean, look at these camera angles. I mean, just to show something off, we'll take a look at the Racer Nexus drone cam here. Look at this. We've got these microscopic drones just able to follow these cars. Look at how close he's getting to the catch fence there. I mean, look at that. How are you going to pilot a drone that well? Well, ask Rob who our drone pilot is, because I don't know. He just goes by Cypher and he sits out in a truck in the parking lot. I'm not entirely sure what he's up to. But very, very good work to our drone pilots over at Racer Nexus. Big shout out to those guys for getting the camera angles that we so dearly need. A little over 6 minutes left in heat race number 2. Brody Gunter has actually got the lead up to 5.2 seconds. So no leader's complacency for him. He is actually extending this lead over Josh Hege, who now just coming out of turn number 4 as he preps for turns 1 and 2 here. Taking a little bit of a suboptimal line. You have to wonder if maybe he used a little bit too much of his tire wear. The tire degradation here at New Hampshire is pretty brutal if you do not respect it. These corners are banked, yes, but it's not as big of a banking as you might think. And when you got a heavy car like a GT4, dragging these tires in a constant turn is going to put wear on them quicker than you think. So last lap for Brody Gunter, our leader, going to be a 32.03 compared to the 32.1 of Josh Hege. So Brody Gunter staying in the green when it comes to the delta compared to the driver behind him. So you can't ask for any better, really. As unfortunately, guys, we do not have a close battle here on track. Everybody seems to be pretty far away from each other. You can see the gap on the left, 6 seconds back is Josh Hege. You go another 11 seconds down the road, make it almost 12 to Tom Wheat. Another 4.5 means it's Alex Good, and another 15 means it's Travis Fleming. Which on a road course, you know, that consists of, 2-minute laps. This would be, not too bad. There's a way. You can definitely run a 1.5 seconds faster than somebody per lap. Catch somebody in the span of 5-6 minutes. You can do that for sure. But here at an oval, when we've still got probably, 8-9 laps left, gaps this big are pretty big. Not really much to say other than that. It's not really going to be recoverable unless something, drastic happens to the likes of Brody Gunter or, even the other drivers on the grid. Joseph Pascucci has sent it back in. He has decided he is done for the night after getting 9th place. So Matt Schlosser, unfortunately, did not even make it a full lap, I don't believe. And he is unfortunately going to time out early on our race here at New Hampshire. 3 minutes left on the clock before we settle this. And we move on to Donington Park next week for the GT4 race here on the special stage. If you'd like to join the special stage, you can do that. Link is in the description down below. You can get in contact With the boss man, Matt Schlosser, he can get you put into whichever of the series you would like to run. They are always recruiting. They are a tight-knit, nice, friendly community. They're always looking to race clean and hard. It's very evident by all of the broadcast. Brody Gunter now with a little bit of adrenaline rushing as he passes the back marker here. Brody Gunter and Keen Maduro. A minute 50 left on the clock for Brody Gunter. It's now a 6.7 second lead over Josh Higgy. It's going to be 15.5 seconds back to Tom Wheat. 2 seconds to Alex Good, and then 18 seconds to Travis Fleming. As we look on board there at Brody Gunter in that Mustang, a minute and 16 seconds left. We've got probably 3 laps remaining. It'll be 2 next time by. $50 seconds left. Brody Gunter gonna come down the start-finish line. Barney's not waving anything yet, so we go at least 2 more times. I'm sure he's gonna wave it next time around. The 0-1 for Gold Mine Racing, driving that Ford Mustang, that Monster Energy Gold car. Brody Gunter, he's got it done in weeks before. He's your current championship leader. And as he takes the white flag here at New Hampshire, it's going to be nothing but celebrations for him coming out of turn number 2. He is going to take turn number 3 and 4 nice and slow. All he's got to do is make it around 1 more corner. New Hampshire heat race number 2 goes to Brody Gunter. Josh Higgy's going to bring it home in P2. Tom Wheat and Alex Good are actually having a battle for the last spot on the podium. Hold the phone coming out of turn number 4. Alex Good's going to have the run coming to the start-finish line. It's a drag race, and it's actually going to be Tom Wheat who takes it. 1/1000th of a second is all it needed to be for Tom Wheat. I didn't even see that unfold. The gap was so big. I'm not entirely sure what happened. But wow, Alex Good with the try of a lifetime. And I was just unaware that that was even happening. We'll go back and take a look here. Tom Wheat. Alex Good is coming by. We'll get back in that Racer Nexus chase cam, that drone chase cam. As Alex Good for Purple Sector Motorsports, he's just going to have the better line, and it looked like the 28 of Travis Fleming maybe got a little complacent. Or the 28 of Tom Wheat, I mean, just got a little complacent. And before we know it, I mean, there's a switchback for the checkered here, and Alex Good, I mean, he made one heck of a run at it. I mean, look at him. The door that Tom Wheat left open was just way too big. Tom Wheat is very, very lucky that he did not get that spot taken from him. And so our first interview up here in the booth is going to be the boss man, Matt Schlosser. Matt, unfortunately, had a bad demise there in heat race number 2. But heat race number 1 actually did end up going your way. Tell me about it. How did it feel?
Yeah, race 1 was great. Was able to get the lead and just hold off Joshua Hagee there. He gave me a pretty good challenge, but I was able to get a pretty good rhythm and hold him off. And then, yeah, race 2, I completely forgot to respect how cold the tires were. Thought I was giving it respect, but they're just ice cold. And tried to throttle up and get a good run off turn 2 and just completely trashed it in the inside wall and had 37 minutes of optional repairs. So that was the end of my race, or required repairs. Sorry, 7 minutes of required. So yeah, I was done there, but not a bad night. Good points night. Had some fun. Wish I could have raced in race 2, but still a good night.
Yeah, now I know you are, an opponent, an enemy of sorts when you're out on track, but you're also the commissioner, you're the admin of this whole thing. And for a race to go kind of that south for a lot of drivers here tonight, we're in week number 4, we're heading to week number 5 at Donington. What's kind of a message that, not necessarily as an opponent, but as an admin that you can give these guys to maybe give them a little bit of a chin up as we head to the latter half of the season?
Honestly, I would just say thank you for racing and giving this weird race a chance. Like, obviously these cars are not meant to be raced on an oval, and especially not in the low downforce configuration. So it was a really interesting challenge. So I would just say, like, thank you for coming out for a fun challenge, and hopefully it wasn't miserable for anyone, and go get them next week. And it was definitely a tough night for a lot of us, but hopefully, kind of the mission of this league is to put up some interesting challenges and scenarios that you don't see every day. So putting GT4s on an oval, we did it last season, and it was pretty fun. And this race was a lot of fun too. I just think we had a lot of us just caught up in some carnage, but thanks to everyone who came out and gave it a chance. It was definitely a good night, I think.
Yeah, very, very well said. Now, before we let you get out of here, is there anybody else, in general that you want to thank or shout out for the performance here tonight?
Yeah. Thank you to yourself and Racer Nexus. Appreciate you up in the booth all season for 3 of our series. You've been doing a fantastic job, and appreciate all you do there for being the voice of the league. And also Rob for covering Thursdays, and Zach Amspacher for jumping in the booth a few times with you guys to offer some insight from his viewpoint as a driver in the league. So thank you to you guys and to Racer Nexus, and congrats to Brody Gunter on the win, and congrats to everyone who came out tonight and gave it a shot. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, we thank you for the wise and kind words. Matt Schlosser, the boss man, the commish. He gets heat race number 1 here tonight with a win. Hopefully we'll see you next week.
All right, thank you.
And now joining us is going to be heat race number 2 winner, Brody Gunter. Brody, you had a bit of a walk in the park, to be honest. There's a whole lot of chaos. What was going through your mind? And, walk me through it.
Yes, so, well, main thing was just not having a race I had, like, in the first race. Everything that could have gone south definitely did. I thought I had a great run, get to the outside, just sadly, it all just went to heck from there. Then the second race, that table finish gave me a great starting spot for that second race, so I was able to take advantage of that to quickly get to the outside and to the lead in a couple of laps. And then, like you said, kind of drove away from there, was minding my own business, trying to, like, run good, clean laps, be consistent, get my line down as good as I could every single lap. And I feel like I did a pretty good job at that. These GT4s are actually very fun on ovals. I mean, I was listening to the stream while I was waiting for the get brought up here, and Matt talking about it's not like a combination you see every day, and it's not. But I feel like it's actually was very fun. And to be honest, if you drove a Mustang, it was very similar to almost how a next gen drives, with the fact of like both being Mustangs, in a sense. And the gear changing, the transition, the being loose on like slightly loose on exit. The cars were definitely all, even I saw Mercedes and looks like as well, were very loose on entry and the braking, and especially on cold tires. So that was kind of the learning curve with these things, was trying to figure out how to keep the car underneath you for the first couple of laps. And I see it caught people off guard. It caught people off guard in both races.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It did certainly do that. Now, you are leading the championship, and with a win here tonight, you're probably going to be leading it even more. So heading into next week at Donington, what's the strategy?
I guess get back in the road course racing. It was nice going back to the oval side where I'm actually more comfortable and enjoy more. But I guess, yeah, back to the road course racing. Donington's not a very common track that's ran iRacing. I feel like, at least for me, I've only ran it one time in a league. So it'll be quite interesting, but a very fun track nonetheless. And I imagine it'll be even more fun in these GT4 cars.
Yes, sir. Now, before we let you get out of here and celebrate your win, anybody you want to thank or shout out for the performance here tonight?
Yes, so everyone that showed up tonight, I know it was probably difficult for some with the track and car, but I hope everyone had fun as much as I did, and for putting on a good race. It seems. Thank you to Matt for putting on this league, and congrats to him on the win, the first race. And shout out to you guys at Racer Nexus for broadcasting this.
Yes, sir. Well, Brody Gunter, we appreciate the kind words as always. We're going to let you get out of here and celebrate. Ladies and gentlemen, your heat race number 2 winner, the 01 Mustang driver of Brody Gunter. Well, that's going to do it for us here at New Hampshire. It was a fun time on the Monster Mile. Or the Magic Mile, I apologize, not the Monster Mile. Whoa, bad. That was bad on me, man. Magic Mile here at New Hampshire. It was great. You know, it did see a little bit of, non-racing in the second heat race. But hey, for those drivers that are vying for a championship, for a cash prize, all the likes, they'll take it just as much as they'll take a win from hard racing. So that's going to do it from us. My name, Mac Nelson. You have been watching a special stage iRacing League race. This is the GT4 Sunday series. If you'd like to join it, links will be in the description below for any of the special stage leagues here on the Racer Nexus Broadcast Network. There's 4 of them every single week. You can also find the link to contact my boss man, Rob Campbell. He can get you started on anything league racing broadcast-wise. Well, that's going to do it. It's been fun. Guys, take care of yourself. Take care of each other. We'll see you next week.